Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Powerful Stuff. If you're just tuning in, Powerful Stuff is your one-stop shop for inner and outer connection with a little bit of comedy and lightheartedness along the way, so you can tap into your own powerful stuff and share it with the world. I'm your host, Meredith Baker. I'm a leadership coach. I help entrepreneurs step into their most relaxed confidence. And I'm also an experience creator, creating experiences for people in LA and beyond, where everyone leaves the experience with a little bit of insight for themselves and also a new friend, a new perspective, a new way of being. So today's episode is about how the playful state is the powerful state. This is something that I love to tell my clients. This is something that's in all of my experiences. That I advocate for, because I do believe that play is power. And last week we were talking about releasing control and how it relates to Burning Man. I'm actually recording this episode the next day as I prepare to leave for Burning Man. I haven't gone yet. So as you guys are listening to it next week, I will be on the other side of Burning Man and probably have yet even more to report about it, because Burning Man is such a microcosm of all of our life musings wrapped into one powerful week in the desert. So I wanted to talk about how the playful state is the powerful state, because I actually did a Burning Man themed Best Morning Ever this morning. And if you're not familiar, Best Morning Ever is my free community offering. I do it on the beach, and it's yoga, meditation, breathwork, journaling, connection, all before 8:30 a.m. each week with a different intention and different takeaways. And this week I decided to make a Burning Man theme. So of course we had Rufus Du Sol playing. Of course we had some Monolink, some Lane 8, all the classic Burning Man artists. But then the theme was also about, how can you tap into your playful state more, and not just, on your own, but specifically what I love about Burning Man is this idea of surprising and delighting other people. If you're not familiar with Burning Man, when you go there, it's like a complete gifting culture. So you create all these things to give away to people on the playa. I might have, told you guys in the last episode, but my husband and I got 60 gluten-free vegan cookies to give people at sunrise. We got ear protection to give people. We got little neti sticks with essential oils to give people, just things that, when you're in the desert or at that kind of harsh desert environment and you've been biking around all day listening to music and you're like, oh, this would be the perfect thing for this moment. We all try to, at Burning Man, anticipate each other's needs and create experiences where we can surprise and delight others. And a lot of camps do that. If you go with a camp, your camp will have a gift that it gives people. Maybe it's yoga or breath work. There was one camp I went to that had foot washing, and they would wash your feet for you and give you a foot massage. So all different, anything under the sun that you can think of, it's gifted at Burning Man. So I was just thinking about that today when I was creating the Best Morning Ever intention, because I was like, how cool would it be to bring the intention of the playa to the other playa, the Venice Beach playa, which is beach in Spanish. And so that's what we talked about this morning. It's how can you surprise and delight other people? And also, how can you surprise and delight yourself? And I love this idea of surprising and delighting, because usually we go through our day and we can get in a little, routine, and we go through our emotions, and maybe you're even not fully present, whether you're with your friends or you're on a Zoom meeting, or even to the cashier who's trying to have a conversation with you at Trader Joe's. And I love the idea of surprising and delighting, because at Burning Man, it's almost like you're in full surrender mode. And so you just the default is to expect magic, right? People are there, how could I just wow other people? How could I wow other people that I'll literally never see again? And I'll give you a few examples of this. And that's the energy that we want to come back from these peak experiences with, because it's not just about doing it at Burning Man when everyone's doing it and that's the culture there, but how can we take it back to Venice Beach? How can we take it back to our hometown and really keep that magic alive? Because as we surprise and delight others, we help them believe in the good in the world. And then that ricochets back to us, and then that elevates everybody. And then who knows what that inspires in them to pay it forward. And the cool thing, about Burning Man is we do these next level things to surprise and delight people that we will literally never see again. It might just be a passing interaction, and we might just, see them for that moment. And then here we are, giving them this thing, gifting them this thing, not knowing how it's going to shape out, but just doing it because we want to do it from the bottom of our heart. And that's like the coolest thing. And so anyways, the intention today for Best Morning Ever, and what we'll talk about a little bit on this short and sweet Labor Day podcast, is how can you surprise and delight someone in your life? And I'll give you some examples of what I've done at Burning Man and what I've done outside of Burning Man. And then the second question will be like, how can you surprise and delight yourself? Because when we also surprise and delight other people and ourselves, we return to that childlike wonder. We show our inner child, like, you're worth it. You deserve to just have fun, just because you don't have to earn it. You don't have to go through some sort of accolades or achieve something to deserve like a playful moment in time. You get to do it just because you're you, and isn't that great? And when we surprise and delight other people, it's like, what would delight their inner child? And so yeah, when we think about surprising and delighting other people, I'll give you a few Burning Man examples that I loved and some real world examples. And then we'll go into the surprising and delighting yourself, and surprising and delighting yourself on the playa or off the playa in your real life. And we'll end with a little meditation around it. But it's going to be a short and sweet episode, guys. Super palatable, super short. So you can get out there and you can start surprising and delighting others. Because when we shake up our ordinary routine and we give someone else faith, that faith comes back to us. And when we create gratitude in them, we're able to create that gratitude in us. So especially if you are in a funk, or especially if you are feeling cynical or, just like lethargic about your life right now, then this episode is especially important for you to shake it up and be the catalyst to become what you're ready to attract with creating these like little moments for other people. So I'll tell you a few of my favorite ones that happened to me on the playa. And I briefly mentioned this last week with like how I met different friends on the playa, but I was biking with my husband in deep playa in like the deep part of Burning Man at like 2 a.m. And there was just this jazz band that happened to be there, and they were on a art car, which was like an old boat. And they were just singing an improvised jazz song just because, just for fun. They like, this whole band came out there. They had like rehearsed, they had all their horn instruments, and they were just like singing for us at 2 a.m. just so we could be like, oh my gosh, I saw a jazz band on Deep Playa at Burning Man at 2 a.m. and people were singing and dancing. And that was already like, oh my gosh, I love that this whole like band came from like whichever city they came from, and transported all this stuff just to have like a few brief moments like this, that people didn't pay tickets for. People were just like, who happened to be there, saw it like at 2 a.m. And then all of a sudden, my husband and I were dancing, and we saw a flash go off in our face. And this guy hands us a Polaroid of us, like at our peak, happiest moment. And this guy happened to be my friend Adu, who I mentioned. I actually met him via Dutch friends that I met at Burning Man in 2019. And then they connected me to him in Venice. He became a good friend, but I didn't even expect to see him out there on Deep Playa at 2 a.m. And he was just taking Polaroids of strangers like that were having a fun time, and giving them these Polaroids so they could have this cherished memory of it. Because at Burning Man, people don't often have their phones out or aren't often taking photos. So it's like a really great keepsake. And so, yeah, it was like one surprise and delight on top of the other. And it was just like this moment of like, wow, anything is possible, And then other times I had fleeting thoughts like, oh, it'd be so refreshing to have ice cream right now, but I'm gluten-free and I'm vegan. And like 5 minutes later, we stumbled upon this camp where their offering was giving out vegan soft serve ice cream and gluten-free cones. I shit you not. I was like, oh my gosh, abundance is real. Abundance is everywhere. And for me, having a food allergy at that moment, feeling like, oh, I would want something so refreshing, so delectable, to have that just appear like right when I was craving it was just wild. So those were a few that like happened to me that I loved at Burning Man. And then things that I, in the past, I've given out at Burning Man, I've carried my tarot deck with me. So whenever somebody maybe has a question or is going through a hard time at Burning Man, I'll offer them a tarot card reading or a grounding meditation. So that's kind of been my traditional offering in the past. And then this time Spencer and I are handing out gluten-free vegan cookies because there's so much food that's handed out at Burning Man. And I was like, oh, someone with food allergy. I bet other people with a food allergy will appreciate someone else with a food allergy handing them things that they can actually enjoy. And so we're doing that. We're bringing like Taylor Swift style friendship bracelets that people in our camp can make. And then I'm handing out like little quote cards. So hopefully, like if I meet someone and they, are having a certain experience or whatever, this quote card will be like the exact quote they need to hear at this point in time. So those are, and I'm bringing rose water to spray on people because that'll be like a very hopefully refreshing thing for people. And so those are my little like offerings on the playa. And then off the playa, if you're wondering, okay, Meredith, I get it, but like we're not at Burning Man. We're not going to Burning Man this year. Maybe we never plan to go to Burning Man. That is a-okay. You can still surprise and delight people. And in fact, I encourage it. And I want to hear what you've done this week to surprise and delight people. So some stuff that I love to do to surprise and delight people off the playa, so to speak, is send a friend a card when it's not their birthday. Like just because, being like, you're an amazing friend. I love these qualities about you. I'll never forget this cherished memory of us. Or like, yeah, just reflecting back all the things that you love about this friend, doing it just because. Maybe it's a friend that you haven't heard from in a while or connected with in a while. Maybe it's a friend from college, and putting it in the snail mail and writing a really heartfelt card. That's a great surprise and delight. One is like if you see, your parents or someone, chosen family related, like bringing them flowers or a plant just because. Another one is like maybe you have your local barista that you love and bringing them like a little card or treating them to a coffee or just telling them like how much you appreciate them, or even just like asking them about their day and like remembering facts about them and then bringing it up like next time around. And of course there's the classic surprising and delighting by like paying for the coffee for the person behind you and stuff like that. But I even just think heartfelt like conversations and messages go a super long way. Another thing that I love doing to surprise and delight people is, planning like a really fun night for friends. And maybe like I treat people, like maybe it's like, everybody going to laser tag or axe throwing or surprising everyone with like tickets to like the rock gym for a Friday night, and you all go to the rock gym for the Friday night. Kind of like how my husband and I surprise and delight each other with, alternating date nights, and we alternate who plans it, and then the other person has to surrender to their plans. Like that can be you as well for what you choose to surprise and delight your people with. And the idea of this is just like, rather than having the energy of things happening to us, it's like, how can I put out the energy that I want to attract? How can I put out the energy that I would like more of in this world? And then, on the same side or different side of the same coin, it's like, how can you surprise and delight yourself this week? So when I'm at Burning Man, I surprise and delight myself by maybe going for a solo bike ride and just, saying yes to like an experience at Burning Man that I wouldn't have had otherwise, or just like, going for a solo ride and stumbling upon different camps and trying out like their different offerings, or allowing myself to like stumble upon a different like dance party there and just like have a solo dance moment and not need my husband or my friends around. And how I surprise and delight myself at home is like, I'll go for a rollerblade, or maybe I'll get dressed up and go to my favorite restaurant for my own solo date night and bring my journal and have that surprise and delight moment with myself. Maybe I will, go for a solo hike and like listen to all my favorite like high school bands. Maybe I will go book myself like a kayak in Marina Del Rey and have like a little solo nature date in that way. So equally important to surprising and delighting others, what do you want to surprise and delight yourself with this week? Like what's something that you can do for yourself? Like just for you, not because you achieved anything, not because you're celebrating anything, but just like to surprise and delight your inner child, to let your inner child know that they deserve to have fun and they've earned it. And, that's something that you're excited to give to them. And the third thing I'll add after we've kind of gone through how to surprise and delight others, how to surprise and delight yourself is, just noticing if you feel any resistance to this, noticing if there's a voice in you that comes up that says, oh, I don't deserve to have fun, or I can only do this when this happens, or, oh, I don't feel like I can give myself full permission to do that. And if that voice is coming up, just having a little compassion for it, noticing where it's coming up and why it's coming up, just letting it speak. And, as always in powerful stuff, like, okay, why do you think we don't deserve to have fun? Okay, well, that might make sense. Or I get it. It's not actually true. Like, we do deserve to have fun. So what do you need for you to relax? Like, this is you telling your inner child, right? What do you need from me for you to relax so we can be granted full permission to just enjoy? What do you need from me? And maybe it's just like a hug, or maybe it's just an acknowledgement of the anxiety or the overwhelm you are feeling, and then do it anyways. It's okay to acknowledge that voice, but then ask yourself, like, what permission do I need to give myself to fully enjoy this, to fully let loose? Okay, guys, we'll go into a little meditation before we close out. So closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in, exhale, letting it go. Another deep breath in. Exhale, feeling your breath come down the back of your spine. And third and deepest breath. Exhale, letting it go. And imagining that you are at Burning Man in your soul. That you're biking around in a lit up bike, neon bike, fully expressed, wearing your most playful clothes. Imagine yourself laughing from the heart, looking at everything you pass with wonder, looking at every person you pass, seeing their inner child. And starting to feel this freedom, the wind whipping your hair and your skin. Breathing in the possibility as you bike around this adult playground, this inner child playground. And how does that feel? And then imagine biking up toward a full-length mirror on the dusty ground. A full-length mirror, like a funhouse mirror. And in it, you get to see that reflection of your fullest, most expressed self. Your inner child laughing and delighting with joy. And just telling them how much you love them, how much they deserve this moment of happiness, of pure, unfiltered joy. And then ask them what they want to do with you. What would be super fun for them? What would be a moment of surprise and delight for you and them? Ask them to show you in this mirror, and you get to see a reflection of it playing out, and how you surprise and delight yourself in this vision. Even though it might seem unrelated to other areas of your life, that it unlocks something in you. Seeing it start to radiate out in this vision, lightening and strengthening your relationship to yourself, to other people in your life, and to just how you approach the world. Just from this little act of surprising and delighting yourself. And as you're in this energy of mystery and wonder, asking that inner child, that fully expressed version of you in the mirror, to show you who you should or who you get to surprise and delight in your own life. Who could use some surprise and delight right now? Trusting whoever's face comes up in the mirror. And asking the mirror to show you an idea, a vision for how you could surprise and delight this person. And then even just the feeling of you doing it for them, right? Regardless of the outcome or what you get back for it, letting that expand your heart, letting that start to create magic around you right now. And then placing your hand on the mirror to touch the hand of your fully expressed inner child, feeling that energy ripple through the mirror like it's making your fingertips tingly, and then bringing that to your heart. Sealing in this childlike wonder right now, taking a deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Another deep breath in. And exhale, release it. Feeling it bring a lightness to your smile, to your hips, to your lips, to your toes, to your nose. And then slowly opening your eyes. And just coming back into this space. Hopefully feeling light, feeling expressed. And what I love about the playful state is the powerful state. Is when we don't take ourselves too seriously. Or actually, one of my favorite quotes is, it's our responsibilities, not ourselves, that we should take seriously. Because when we don't take ourselves too seriously, we're showing that, like, I'm worth it to have fun. I deserve to have fun. I deserve to enjoy this life. And it actually does show high self-worth when we cultivate this time for play, which also then recharges us. And when we feel worthy of this play, when we feel recharged, we're then able to show up better for our other relationships, our work. Oh my gosh, my AI is going crazy right now on my video. If you're watching, it just did like fireworks in the background. But yeah, you're able to show up more powerfully for your work, your other relationships, because you feel recharged, you feel playful. And when we're playful, we're present. And when we're present, we're open to magic. We're open to possibilities. And how cool is that to take that with us, whether you go to Burning Man or you don't, like that idea of expecting magic in each moment. So to sum it up, how can you bring more play into your life right now? And maybe it's also through things like something like taking improv or doing stand-up or doing salsa, like something unexpected or something that just forces you to be present and in your body. What is something you can do to surprise and delight someone else this week? What is that action that you'll take? Commit to yourself, trust in it. How does you doing it bring more joy into your own world? And then what is something that you can do to surprise and delight yourself this week? And how does, by you surprising and delighting yourself, how does that benefit those around you? Okay, guys, I cannot wait to hear what you're doing to surprise and delight others. Please send me an email or tag me. Let me know what it is. And let me know also, if there's something that you want me to talk about on Powerful Stuff. This podcast is for you. This podcast is so we all grow together. And I will see you next week for more Powerful Stuff.